Hey guys, it's Key and it's Key Life Trading. Thanks for tuning in to another video. So today I'm very happy. Other than I made a $800, but I'm happy today because I finally fixed or got my camera to work. It works on and off when it wants to, but overall it's working right now. So that means I can show my face, a pretty face, when I'm trading or do my video. And I also want to start doing live trading on YouTube from time to time. And if you guys enjoy it or show more interest into it, I'll continue doing it. So all you guys have to do to show me that you're interested is smash that like button, the thumbs up button. So go out, guys, and go do that. Show some love. So today, um, this video is gonna be about me showing you guys what I do to prep myself for the next day to trade. So you can do it the night before, or you can do it in the morning. I prefer doing it ahead of time, so I'm fully focused. So one thing I preach is plan your trade and trade your plan. So that's what this is basically about. So you can do it in many different ways. So how I do it, I use my scanners. Or what I will do is I'll look at stocks that perform very well the current day, and then I'll plot out what I expect or I might think it's gonna do tomorrow. So either it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down, and that's what I will basically be planning and strategizing myself to prepare myself for whatever may happen, or kind of look at the chart and have an understanding of what I think might happen. So let's just jump in to our screen over here. Right here is my trading platform. So for you guys that don't have a scanner, well, if you have your trading platform, majority of them have scanners, so I don't think you should have any excuses of why you can't do this. But if you don't, there's an alternative. You can also go on Finviz, which I highly recommend, and I love this platform. Even the free version is very good, to keep it simple. You don't have to pay. The only thing that really, there's a lot of stuff that come with the paid version. We're not gonna get into that, but the free version work as well. So what I would do is I'll go and see what stocks did fine on that specific day, right? So this did okay, but it fell off. Um, Not interested. This look interesting, but so I'll go over these stocks. So this is one of the stock I have on my watch list, BBIG. Didn't trade it today, but that's one of my stock I have on my list. And then this look good, and also this look good. But I'm not paying attention to none of these right now because these are not stocks that I really trade. But if I was, or if I was open minded to trading any stocks, I'll look at these. So I already have a bunch of stocks that I already have, prepared that I actually trade. So I'm gonna show you my watch list. Right here are my watch list. These are my go-to stocks that I trade if I don't see anything on my scanner. So if I don't see something on my scanner that I don't like, these are my go-to. I look at these all the time. I'll trade them up, down, side to side. You understand? Okay. So let's jump into it. So what I do now, okay, we're gonna look at BBIG, right? So what I look at is first of all I look at the daily chart, right? I look at the daily chart and I start plotting out. Okay, we had a strong day, right? So we had a strong day today, and then what I'll do is I'll start putting my lines for resistance. So I don't usually put them on the daily chart. I usually put them on the 5 minute chart, which well, because I usually use the 5 minute time frame more than any other time frame, right? I use the 1 minute and I use the daily, but I use the 5 minute majority 99% of the time. Sometimes I do use the 1 minute. But anyways, so what I'll do is I will mark out the high of the day on the my 5 minute. So the high of this is, we're looking at the daily, right? High of this is 848. So now I'll go to my 5 minute chart and then I'll put it there. So you see it? It's 548. Then another thing I would do is I'll look at the 5 minute and I'll look at the pre-market. Well, this is after hours. This is after hours. This is not pre-market. Sorry about that. I'll look at the after hour and look at how it's performing. So based on this, it looked like it's trying to break down, because after hours it broke through 848 and then it basically failed. It failed and went down. It bounced right here and then it came back up again and then it failed again. It looked like it's gonna be, do a double bottom in terms of after hours, but we would have to see around 4 o'clock, where I'm not gonna be up around 4 o'clock, but we can leave it. Well, can kind of basically leave a mental mindset or understanding, like, okay, there's a double bottom, or idea of a double bottom, and kind of look out for it, right? So when I do that, is I start. This is just basically on an uptrend. So if this was supposed to go up, I'll be interested into either jumping in early to anticipate the break of the high of day of today, which is 848. Or what I can say is also put some support lines, right? So these are some good support lines. So we're gonna put some support lines. So here's one support here. I'm looking at here. There's a support right here, because once it hit here, it bounced. And then there's another support within this area. I call them key area, but for you guys, we're gonna call them support and resistant. So we have another support. You could either put it here. And the reason why I call them key areas is because I don't like putting my 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 lines at a specific area and expecting it to, because what it do is what people would expect it to bounce off that specific line. For me now, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as a key area, and that there's potential that it might touch it, it might not, it might come close to it, then bounce back up, or it might break below it a little bit and then bounce back up. So I'll look at it like this. This is how I'll look at it. This is the key area right here. So it could come with, as long as it come within this area, that's my key area. It could break this support a little bit. It could come close to it a little bit and then bounce. So it's just basically kind of to keep a mental, like, just be aware. You don't know what's going to happen. It might come down. So just whatever happened, just be prepared so you're ready to go. But anyways, let's continue, right? So for me, I'm just going to take this off. I don't necessarily need it. So we got another key or support area. And then this one is not as strong, and I'm going to explain why. This is how I kind of pick my support areas, right? My support area, if I can see a lot of consolidation within a range, a price range, so from here to here, it was consolidating. That's telling me that there was a lot of pressure of buying and selling pressure, right? And then it went higher, so that means there was more buyers than sellers. So it went by, bop, 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 sideways. Sorry for the the audio effect, but went sideways and then it went up. So this is showing me that this is a strong area, right? Then up here is the same thing. The fact that it went sideways, it went sideways as long as this one did. It went sideways and then it ripped up. That's telling me that's a key area. There was buyers and sellers fighting each other, going up and down, but there was more buyers than seller. That's why it went and broke through and went up. So that's one of the ways I determine my support and resistant area. And this is another confirmation too. Even though this is after hours, look, it came back down, and what it did, it tapped within this range or key area, and what it did, consolidated a little bit, and then it slowly went up. One of the reasons why it didn't go up, that I can basically kind of guess is because, it's after hours, and after hours you don't have that much volume. But if I'm like probably 80 to 90% um convinced that if this was during market hours, it would have bounced and went up higher. Might be wrong. Remember, when you're trading, nothing is for certain. I look at things in percentage of how strong or the possibility of it happening. So possibility, I have a high conviction, or I feel like it had a high possibility of bouncing off here and going a little bit higher. You could be wrong, so don't think everything that you say is all stick and stone. Everything is gravy. Everything you're saying you're correct or you're right. Things can go the wrong way, right? You just need to have confirmation on the direction that you're going, if there's a higher possibility it's going to go in that direction versus the other direction. But anyways, let's continue. So that's one. And another thing that I like to do is I like to go back once I put my support area or my key area. I like to, and it's both ways, so support and resistance. So even though I'm saying support, it's the same thing for resistance. I'm just thinking mentally in a uptrend. So once you're thinking uptrend, you're looking at support to basically confirm the direction of an uptrend. If you're trying to go down, or if you're trying to go down, then you will look of using the resistance as a confirmation of it going down, right? So let's continue. So another thing I like to do on the 5 minute, I like to go back in time. I like to go back. One of the reasons I like to go back is when you go back now and you set these key areas, you can see if in the past or in the future, whatever you want to call it, it actually hit these area before. So if they hit these area before, this is even giving you a higher, a higher conviction or a higher acknowledgement that this area is really a strong support area, and if vice versa, resistance. So we go back and let's see. Nothing touched it. So we gotta keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. I might have to keep going back a little bit more. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let's see. So, no time. I go to custom. And we're gonna go back. Let's go back 10 days. Okay. This is what you do when you're a good trader. If you're not a good trader, you're not gonna do all this stuff. What will help you become a good trader, you always need confirmation. You need to do your research. You need to make sure what you're doing is correct. There's a high possibility of whatever you're planning, sorry, is going to happen in your in your favor. Sorry. So you go back. Guys, gotta do your research. You go back and still nothing. So let's go back even more. Let's just make this quick. Let's say a month back. So 5 months back. Okay, here we go. Okay, we found something, right? So right here, the 747, what was this? This was basically a previous resistance, right? Then we keep going back. Same thing, previous resistance. That's not what we're looking for, right? So what you can also look at right here, even though it broke through and it came back down, you can kind of say this was a slight support. Matter of fact, let's not call it a slight support. Okay, so here's one that you can, in a sense, say that it was support here. It hit the 790, came down, and even here, this is why I was saying key area. You see, this would have been a key area right here, right here, and then right here would be. So it came down within that key area and bounced off. And the reason why it didn't go down so low is because there's so much buying pressure down here that it didn't get a chance. It was so much buying pressure versus selling pressure that it didn't even come down to the support area that we previously drew, or we just drew. Basically, there was so much buying pressure down here, it didn't even have the chance to go down, right? So it went up, and look at it touching each. You see, it's touching each key area that I already made just a while ago. So it came down here, it didn't touch it, but it touched here, right? Then it went up, broke through here, consolidated here. That's just confirmation that this area is a potential strong support area, right? Went up higher, and guess what it did? Bounced off it again, went up, bounced off it again, went up, and until then it started breaking down. So the fact that it bounced off this area so many times, this key area so many times, this is telling you that this is a strong potential of a key, or if you want to say support area. It doesn't mean it's going to work, but it's telling you that there's a higher chance that it's going to work versus not working. That's all it's telling you. So don't bet your whole money. If you're not a good trader, I would advise do not put all your money or your chips on this play. And any play that you do in the stock market, always have an open mind that even though you plan something out, it doesn't mean it's going to go in that direction. And that's what makes you a good trader. Always have an open mind. Be ready for the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen, but be ready and prepared to make certain changes in your strategy or your plan. And that's how you're going to be a good trader. Let's continue. And I don't want to have this video to be too long, right? Okay, there's another one. So this is one I said, right? And this was what date? Let's look at the date, right? This was on the date. Wait, hold on. I missed up past it. Where is it? Okay, right here. This was on the 16th. So 09/16/21, right? Then that day before that, look at it. It was bouncing off that same key area more than once. This key area was resistance, came down to support, bounce, bounce, came back down, bounce, shot back up. Up here, this resistant area is strong, so it rejected it. So the fact that is, I don't have to keep saying it, but once you go back in time, even here, look at this. In this area. Let's go. This is like the last one. Last time I'm gonna say this. This is the key. Look at this. It bounced, came from up here, came down, and what it did, bounce off that 790, and you got a big rip up. Then finally it broke down, came back within this range, and bounced up a little bit. You can still scale some money, or scrape some money off that little bounce right there, and call it a day. And then it went up, but kept breaking down. It is what it is. The whole point is you don't have to look for a trade that's gonna have you stay in for long. As long as you can get at least a piece of the pie, that's the whole goal. The whole goal is to make money. So even if it's $1, I'm not saying you're gonna be excited to make $1, but if you can take out $1 from the market that you didn't have before, that's the goal. You know what? That's all I'm saying. So if you make $50 off one bounce, cool. That's $50 you did not have yesterday, or you didn't have before. Because look at this. This went to the range of, let's say you got in at 790. It would have went down. Now, sometime when you're jumping in terms of trying to get the trade on the dip, sometimes it's gonna go a little bit lower. So you have to be careful. Because look, if you would have gotten you cannot time these dips or these bounce off the resistance on a, you can't predict them how low or how high they're gonna go based on just looking at the stock, because you never know. It's unpredictable. So you can say, okay, say you got in at, this is my favorite part, I like pulling out the calculator. Say you got in on 790, right? You got in at 790 and it went down to a low of, say, 778. So you have to be prepared to let it play out. You understand what I'm saying? And then let's just do the math. So say you had, let's say a average, let's say 25,000. Some of you guys might not have it. Uh, let's just use that, right? Divide that by 790. So you got in that 790. That would have gave you 3,000 shares on this specific stock. And then you let it play out. It went to a high of $9. We're not gonna reach because who knows what the top was. In hindsight, it looks, we can see it, but if you didn't see it, you wouldn't know. But let's say you got it, we're still ripping, and you got it at say $8.50. You subtract the 25, you'd have made it $1,898. That's perfectly fine. That's great. That's more than what the average people are making, especially beginner traders. But yeah, but this is just basically what I do in the night. And then what happened is, what I'll do is during pre-market the next day around like 7 o'clock, what I'll do is I will look at the specific key area, the support or resistance, depending on the direction I'm planning on or I think it's gonna go, and I watch how pre-market the price action fluctuate or react to these area. Did it break through them? Did it go back down? Or did it consolidate? Is continuing to consolidate? And based on how it looks, that's how I can determine the direction that I think it's gonna go. And that's really about it. It's not that hard. So if you want to be a good trader, always prepare yourself for the next day. You don't necessarily have to do it the night before, but it's more, for me personally, I feel more comfortable because now I'm fully prepared mentally. I'm ready to go to war instead of waking up early in the morning and then trying to rush on in terms of picking a stock or looking at the direction, because then it's gonna, for me personally, it's taking out more time when I could have been looking at other stocks. And this for me, it wouldn't take so long because I've been doing it for so long. But for a beginner, it might take them a while to do the little research, the quick research that they need to make that their decision or create their strategy for that specific stock. So I'm not gonna do no more stocks. This is just example, and you can do it for each and every other stock. It could be a stock that you might have traded the previous day, something you have on your watch list, like I do. Like you see, I have a bunch of different stock on my watch list. I have a bunch of it. I have AMC, I have ZZan. I don't really trade this. I have the overall market. I have BBIG, MARA, Lucid, AEHR. I haven't traded this in a while. Groom. I just have this on my watch list. PALT. I traded it. Yes, well today I traded it today, but I just still have it on my watch list because I feel like it have potential. And DATS. This one is running hot, so I have it on my watch list. So basically I'll probably run through all of these, see which one look, pleasing, eye pleasing first, see if they had a good day, and then start mapping out these specific key areas. And the good thing about it is, or one of the benefit is, once you put these key areas, you can leave them there. So when you go back, you already have these key areas. So once, if the price action reach within these area, or yeah, reaching these area, then you could be like, okay, this was a previous resistant. Let me keep an eye out to see how it performed. Does it accept it or does it reject it? If it accept it and it look like it want to go higher, let me jump in. And the same thing vice versa for the support, resistance, support resistance, same thing. So for me now, I'm at end the video now. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. For me now, what I'm looking to happen for this, if pre-market, because I'm looking to trade this one tomorrow, had a good day. For me now, what I'm looking for is either to see if in pre-market, if it actually hold this level of 790. If it don't, I'm looking for this to dip down within this range, and I'll see how it performs. See how the price action reacts to the range or the key area. And then from there, then I'll decide, okay, it looks strong. It looked like I want to go higher. And then I make my trade, jump in if it's going to be a long or short. For me now, I'm looking for this to either be, honestly, I'm thinking this is going to be a short position. I don't think I'm going to short it though. But if anything, I might look for a dip buy to ride it up for a quick couple cents and then get out. Plus, tomorrow's Friday. So if you don't know, Fridays are usually slow because people start their weekends on Friday, so they don't, they close their trading stations, trading platform, and go have fun with their family or their personal, whatever they do personally on their own time. So it might be slow tomorrow, but what I'm looking to do for this is for a quick dip, drop, and then a rip up, and then I'm pretty sure it should probably continue to go down tomorrow based on how this reacted. But this is just a guess, right? All right, so that's about it, guys. So remember, tomorrow I think I will be doing a live trading. So if you guys want to tune in, I will be there. Key Life Trading. Subscribe, like, leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm here for you guys. I want to teach you guys. I want you guys to win. Let's get this money. Peace.